Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gen Z show where we explore the tools and strategies you need to thrive in today's digital landscape. And I'm your host, Jamie, and today we're diving into a topic that's essential for anyone looking to make a mark in the digital world. So, how can social media boost your personal brand? In this era, your online presence is your resume, your business card, and your marketing campaign all rolled into one. Navigating social media can be like walking through a maze. You need to be there, but how do you stand out from the crowd? How do you ensure your social media persona resonates with your professional goals and not just lost in the noise? And once you've got a following, how do you keep them engaged and invested in your brand? So these are common struggles, and solving them can really set you apart. So to help us unpack this, we're joined by a master of the digital domain. It was her dream to become an entrepreneur, and when the pandemic hit, it became her springboard to help international or intentional wellness brands when she left her corporate job. Now she leads a lean team, helping them double down on sales with strategic TikTok and Instagram growth. She will share her expert insights on building a compelling personal brand through social media, what works, what doesn't, and some of the surprises along the way. So please welcome Denise Madrid. Hi, Denise. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jamie. Thank you so much for having me here.
So we will start our first question. How did you start using social media to enhance personal brand, and what motivated you to do so? Because the usual things kasi we use social media is for connecting, or especially for friends and families, but some of us didn't know na it could help you promote your services as well. So for you, how did you start using social media?
You actually started with a good phrase now, with a connecting. So, what I actually stand by or really believe in, like the essence of social media, is really about connection. So, it doesn't really differ from businesses, whether that's product based or service based businesses, to personal brands. And then in terms of connecting, I'm actually an extrovert. So I love connecting with people, kwentuhan, chikahan, and everything. Actually, it started on in the pandemic. A lot of businesses are struggling. And even myself, I was looking for ways, how can I leverage my career? So I've been in the marketing industry na din for more than 7 years now. And I've seen how businesses struggled. And I've seen the need of how businesses should actually like being pulled in, like abruptly make the transition, all their operations, all their physical stores and whatnot, to social media. In terms of my personal brand, I didn't have any because I was just connecting with friends, liking memes and such. And then I just started in like, giving value in terms of, even if I had a personal brand, I position it in a way that what are my clients or customers are looking for, what do they actually need in this time, in this digital landscape. What they need is someone to help them transition their businesses. How can they be seen, more visible, with a lot of competitions? Na every businesses now are doing a lot of things now on social media just to get attention. But how can you get the right attention to the right audience, to the right platform? So that's where I started, talking to people, connecting, just like what you mentioned. So it's like bringing that bridge ng connection talaga.
Right. And from your experience, Denise, what were the first crucial steps you took in establishing your brand on social media?
I started with knowing, like I mentioned earlier, where they are. They have this analogy that you can sell fish like in a wedding, you sell fish in a market. So it's similar with how we socialize on social media, diba? So it's like finding out first, where does your customers likes to hang out, check their purchases, check their influencers now they're actually looking for, are their buying habits. But those things are very technical, but just keep in mind that where would you like to be seen by your customers?
Right.
So for me, I started on Instagram kasi it was easier for me to show up on Instagram because you can just post on photos,
Yeah.
doing reels, doing videos, and it's just so easy. So whatever is like low-hanging fruit for businesses out there, for people who wants to start their personal brand, where can they start and what platform would it be? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So madami, di ba? So
Mm.
just choose where their customers.
That's very interesting. With digital marketing changing so rapidly, how have the key skills for digital marketers changed recently in your perspective as a digital marketer?
We can go back with the connection kasi like
Mhm.
where can these businesses or where can you create a personal brand wherein you can make the connection with the people that you want to talk to.
Mhm.
So that's a skill already kasi we will have to know first, okay, what do they need? What do they want to learn from you? What do they actually want to get from you? What do they want to see from you? So those things will affect their buying decision and also to build trust. It's actually building the connection, building the trust, and at the same time showing them that you are trustworthy and that you are actually bringing value to them, not just purchasing it and that's it.
Can you share a personal example where social media unexpectedly benefited your career or opened up new opportunities?
It wasn't easy to find talaga na, okay, my customers are here and there because it's actually about testing. Marketing is really about testing what's working, what's
Mhm.
not working, and what can we learn from it. So for me, I tried Facebook groups, if there are
Right.
questions there na I can answer, I can give value, I can give my solutions so that, hey, you can do this, 3 steps, blah, blah, blah. When I was just starting, I was doing actually pro bono for some of my friends, just to build my portfolio, just to build my personal brand. Because from there, I could show them like, hey, these are the things that you can get out of my services, out of our businesses together, out of our partnership. So that's really important. So whether you are a product or a service base or whether you're building a personal brand, like what can you bring into the table for the people that you want to serve, for the people that you chosen to be your customer. I had a lot of friends like that really celebrating with me even the smallest thing. So that's just one. And I've seen a lot of my network and those friends that I found online that are referring me to their clients or to their friends or for the business owners that they know of. Some of the connections that I found online as well, we were just chatting like, hey, how can I do this for my business? And I was just giving advices because it's actually just sharing what I know. And then later on, they would say like, hey, maybe we can just work together, and I've seen my business starting as that. It's not like really hard selling that. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience as long as your heart is really into it. And of course, this kind of visibility, being invited in these things, I actually didn't expect, this much of growth, not just in my business, but also in myself as well.
Everything that you do on social media is all about building relationship, and that's one of the
Exactly.
most important thing that you should do. And speaking of promoting yourself on social media, we all know that content is king, as they say, right? What
Mhm.
is your approach to creating content that people would like?
Since I was a marketing graduate, I've been in the corporate industry. So I actually thought that marketing or social media has to be like straightforward, like, hey, this is what I'm selling. This is my
Right.
services. It's not like that. Like not a lot of people would relate or connect on that right away. And
Right.
that's something that we don't want our customers or want our audience to experience. We want to establish the trust. And then from there, we would ease into the things that we can share with them. Like for me, for my marketing services, I would relate it on my everyday lives, even if I'm reading a book. if I saw something that inspires me, that can be something that I post as well. And I actually add fun into it. I am actually enjoying doing memes on social media, even for my clients' businesses. Like, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Can we just do this every day? And it's just, just to get the attention. But in terms of of course, all of the business wants to the selling side. That's just like 20% of the content
Mhm.
making. Like 80% is divided into the engagement, about yourself or about your business, and then that 20%, the promotional, maybe a teaser, a sell, would actually just like an add-on into it, because when people knows you, trust you as a person or as a personal brand, it's just easier for your customers to get their foot in the door.
For you, I'm actually curious, how do you personally engage with your audience? And for those who are watching or listening right now, what tips do you have for building a loyal community?
I actually tested this with my clients, starting with like having a script, having a templated messages, templated that works depending on the businesses or the company. Let's say it's the branding is really into professional, the voice is professional, straightforward, and depending on their market as well, that works. But let's say if you're a personal brand that you're actually engaging with people directly, or business to customers, and you're the voice of the branding or how they communicate with the customers is very casual, conversational, that actually works that way. So I tested it, whether that's influence with influencers, or whether with venting, let's say on social media, whether on FB groups or Instagram or on the Facebook itself, or even on TikTok. Very having casual and conversational type of engagement actually works best for us, as long as it's aligned again with the branding. So that's something that really has to be taken note of, studying first the branding and the voice of the brand. But let's say, since we're talking about the personal brand, if your voice, or for me, in for an example, the way I talk is just like how I actually talks every day. I actually add a very long vowels in my hellos and highs, just putting yourself in how you talk,
Yeah.
and even with the excitement, even with the emojis, that actually helps, because that makes you human. I
Yeah, it
know
shows
a
you
lot
as
of people,
well.
diba?
Because I think
A lot of people would say na humanize the brand. So
yeah,
that could be just simple things that you can add on, diba? Hindi siya yung like slide, like our response rate increase, I would say from 40% to 60% when we transition that kind of how we engage, whether that's in influencer marketing, whether that's in engaging on comments, on messages. So it's really about testing, but I'm having a lot of fun when it's more into the cash flow side.
right. And I think it should be very intentional, no? Not just for the sake
Exactly.
of connecting, but also they should also feel the genuineness that you really want to build between you and the community that you're engaging. So you're a social media expert. We want to know, like, what metrics or feedback do you use to gauge the impact of your social media presence on your brand?
We can get a little bit technical in here,
Yeah.
since we're talking about metrics and KPI. So at first, actually had an experience with the past client that I have, where they can't actually measure this kind of things because it's just social media and it's organic. And then when I actually delve into social media marketing, I realized that it all started with reach meaning how many people are seeing your post, and reach is meaning how many people individually, whether that's 1,000, a million, and so. So you start with that. So actually, marketing is like in marketing, we have this foundation where we call a marketing funnel. So it starts to the very top, those people who don't know you. So the perfect metric or KPI with that would be the reach, because how many people are you are reaching, whether they know you or not, right? And then the next would be like the warm, the middle section. These people actually knows you, knows what you're selling, and knows your brand. So with that, to make it simple, we can actually use the metric or KPI for that would be the engagement, is meaning those people who actually saw you, saw your post or saw your comments, actually engaging
Right.
on your content or on your comment section, because that's actually a good thing. That's where you can build the community, where you mentioned earlier, because when you have the community that you can actually nurture, meaning you can build your relationship to trust and build your products in the build the trust in your products in the long run. So
Mhm.
those people would actually trickle down to the very bottom of the funnel, which we call the very hot hot and flaming bottom of the funnel. Yeah, that's what it's just called. Then for those part, you can actually use how many bought from you. It's actually different. It's either the leads, how many leads you got, how many book a call with you, how many actually interested, got your coupons and such. So it's actually depending on your marketing goals.
Mhm.
So it can be differ depending on your campaign. So that's just a bit of technical overview of what marketing strategies looks like. But bear in mind that those people who sees your brand, it's very important you bring them down the funnel, because at the end of the day, with all the connection, the community that we're building in, businesses really wants to, sell.
How have you handled online criticism naman or negative comments? Any specific approaches or experience? Kasi there's so many trolls online. So how do you handle that?
With the negative comments, of course, we want to approach these people professionally, and at the same time, if it's a negative feedback, it's best to break it, like, let's say, get their information through email or even call them, or if you have the capacity, maybe get their email address. Basically, if you have time, basically just call them if they're open into it. But if not, because those are really your customers, if they're giving like negative comments about your product or services, whatnot, how can you solve this relationship or mend this relationship with the customer? But let's say if they're just like trolls, you can actually filter those on Facebook, because trolls is a different thing. They're just doing it for their own sake of fun or whatever. But yeah, you can filter those. Yeah, for their own satisfaction, just to stress people. I don't know. So what you can do is, if you're seeing a lot of those trolls, maybe spam comments even, you can just filter your comment section for those things. But if not, if you can still handle those things, message them or comment on their post professionally. And if not, maybe look into the kind of post that you're posting. Maybe it's attracting people that you don't want to. Like I mentioned earlier, you really want to be in the space where you can build communities with the audience that you want to attract it. So maybe there's something wrong in the strategies, in the type of content, the type of voice, or the type of languages that you use. Maybe you're attracting these wrong people. And that's actually a good feedback as well, because it means that there's something that you can do with your strategies and how you can post your content or how you engage with your audience. Because it means that you can still improve on talking to the people that you really want to serve. You can message them, those people, like, hey, what kind of content that you want? Maybe posting a poll, etc., and still improving the strategies and the type of content that you're posting, so that eventually those spam, those trolls will be fewer in your comment section. And yeah, just use filter. That actually helps as well.
Right. And now we're down to our last question, Denise. What are your advice for professional who wants to step up their game in promoting themselves professionally on social media?
Yeah, let's say I would give like top 5 steps that you can start on if you really want to start your personal brand and attract the audience and maybe sell your services or sell your products for your business. So first is again knowing the platform. Sorry, let's start with knowing your target market, the people that you want to serve, like knowing their demographics, their psychographics. How can you actually serve them? What they can get out of your services or your products. Second is to know where they are. That's the platform that I mentioned earlier. Then second is building your personal brand, going actually onto the social media, editing your, let's say, cover photo or editing your bio, whether you are on Facebook, on TikTok, or Instagram. So, di ba, nasa gitna pa lang yung actually going to the social media because the first two is very crucial. We cannot actually show ourselves online without actually knowing who we are talking to, right? So that's third. Editing your personal, it's like a personal portfolio for your business, whether that's also on LinkedIn, everything there, the cover photo, your profile picture, your bio, even getting feedback, let's say. And then fourth, yeah, in line with the feedback, maybe posting your testimonials that you got from your customers, or either if you're in a personal brand, showing what you can offer your audience, what they can get from you. Then the last one is improving your content as you go along, because the first 3 steps that you did were in getting to know your audience is will change over time. You will your business, your personal brand, your brand voice, how you do content will change over time as long as you are always getting in touch with the people that you are talking to. Just like connection. Oh my god, it's a 360 like connection with someone like you're talking to. It changes over time.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
very insightful tips, Denise. Thank you so much. And just like that, we're at the end of our another fantastic episode of the Gen Z Show. Denise, before we end, do you want to promote some things? Maybe they want to follow you on social media. Please tell them where to follow you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. You can follow me on first on Facebook. You can search for my name, Denise Madrid, and then on Instagram, it's the nice things about digital. So that's my little marketing agency. So yeah, that's it. If you're looking to grow your online presence and double your sales using TikTok and Instagram, so I'll be your girl. I'll
All
be helping.
Of course, a huge thanks to you, Denise, for joining us today and shedding light on how to effectively use social media to enhance our personal brand. To all our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Remember, your social media presence is your digital handshake. Make it count, guys. So be sure to implement some of the strategies Denise shared today, and don't shy away from expressing your unique voice online. So I'm Jamie, and you've been watching and listening to the Gen Z Show. Keep striving, keep shining, and as always, keep generating change. Until next time, thank you guys.